I'm here in the Annex neighborhood of the city of Toronto, and we're heading off to a bike shop called Curbside Cycle, and we're gonna borrow a Brompton for a weekend in Montreal. So let's go. I'm your host Kevin from the YouTube channel Kevin Goes, and Curbside Cycle and I have joined together to show you the advantages of owning a Brompton folding bike and bringing it onto the Via Rail train from downtown Toronto to Montreal, Quebec. So sit back, relax, and enter the fold. This is Curbside Cycle at 412 Bloor Street in Toronto. They have been around for 30 years selling Dutch bikes, cargo bikes, electric bikes, and, for what you're here for, the amazing Brompton Bicycle. They also sell lots of parts and accessories for your brand new Brompton. And this one in front of us here is the Brompton C-Line Explorer. This is a 6-speed bicycle. This includes dynamo lighting, so you do not have to worry about your lighting needs. And if you're someone like me, 6 foot, this comes with the telescopic seat post. This is going to be great when we put this into the transit travel bag, as Via Rail has some pretty stringent baggage requirements. That one is 62 linear inches for your bag. Unfortunately, the transit travel bag does exceed that, but if you take out the top portion, you'll be under that limit. But most importantly is the weight of the bag and the bike. They actually do weigh your bag, and this has to remain under 50 pounds, so you can't get away with just jamming all your clothes in the transit travel bag. Don't do that. They'll come around with a scale and you'll either get dinged with additional charges, or they might not let you take it onto the train. Sadly, there will be a lot of rain in Montreal this weekend, so I'm taking the amazing roll-top, waterproof Burrow bag. So we've got everything we need for our trip to Montreal. We have our transit travel bag, our waterproof roll-top Burrow bag. Thank you so much to Curbside Cycle for making this happen. I think we're ready to take the Via train. Let's go. It's train time! What would a train ride be without a sandwich and maybe some snacks? We got some Miss Vicky's, wasabi snacks, maple leaf cookies, and some cupcakes because they were out of Dunkaroos. Nothing fancy here, just some ham, cheese, tomato, white bread. We even got the brown bag. Early morning Toronto is a thing of beauty. It's about 5 a.m. here and I'm heading down to Union Station, downtown Toronto. In a previous episode, I took you on a bike share bike down to Billy Bishop Airport. But this time I get to do it in style and on the comfort of a Brompton. One of my favorite parts about riding in the early morning is the lack of cars. And my favorite sight and sound of the night is the streetcar. Such an iconic feature of Toronto, and if you're ever here, check it out. And once you arrive to Toronto's Union Station, you are warm welcomed by its bright lights and the famous CN Tower. Toronto's Union Station is Canada's busiest multimodal passenger transportation hub. It features Via Rail, GO Transit, and connections to the TTC. And when you enter through the front street entrance, you are greeted by the Great Hall. If you are coming by bike, make sure to get here early. I was about 30 minutes before boarding time. And this is where the magic happens. Simply fold out the panels of the transit travel bag, move the straps out of the way, grab your Brompton, and place it in the bag. Be sure to use the straps so that you can tighten down the Brompton to the bag. You wouldn't want this thing to move around. And as a pro tip, if you have a telescopic seat post, remove the saddle portion, as Via Rail is pretty stringent with their baggage requirements. You also have just enough room to put in the Brompton waterproof Burrow bag. And don't forget to put the saddle in the bag. One of the great perks of having this as a soft case, the dimensions are a bit flexible, so you do get within the 62 linear inches on Via Rail. Big thing though, keep it under 50 pounds. The waiting area in the Via Concourse isn't anything to really look at. However, we were just getting ready to board, and the lineups have started to form. Since I didn't have a camera person, it was a bit hard to show going up the escalator, but once you're on the train, there's plenty of room for your Brompton in the luggage area, and then you can head to your seat and relax. So, no idea if you can hear me. I'm standing right next to one of the Via train locomotives that I'm about to embark on to Montreal, and I've got a really great time for you guys, taking a Brompton folding bike. We're gonna have a nice trip. It's about 5 hours long, and we'll see how these old cars do. All right, let's get on the train. And now that I have my hands free, I can show you that there is no level boarding here at Toronto Union Station. However, the coach cars are wide, they have plenty of storage, and feature incredibly comfortable seats. And before you knew it, we were off. And within about 20 minutes, the coffee cart came around. And if you're expecting to do some work, the Wi-Fi is pretty bad. So you might be better off trying to sit back and relax and enjoying the view. Once we got to Kingston, I dug out that sandwich and was chowing down. Oh, and what would a train ride be without a bathroom tour? Pretty small, but had plenty of hot water and great lighting. Embarking on a journey aboard the Via Rail train where time slows down and the world outside blurs into a picturesque daydream. For 5 long hours, let the rhythmic clatter of the tracks be your lullaby as you escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life, immersing yourself in the timeless romance of the rolling landscape outside of your window. While Via Rail's Toronto to Montreal route isn't the most scenic, depending on which side of the train you sit, you get beautiful views of Ontario and Quebec farmland, or views of Lake Ontario and St. Lawrence River.
Your attention please, we'll be arriving at Montreal Central Station, our final destination, in a few moments.
And as we begin to creep in Montreal, we get to see the beautiful skyline approach, old rail bridges, and brand new transit infrastructure known as the REM. While much of the skyline of Montreal is now new buildings, you do get to see glimpses of old Montreal. After 5 long hours, welcome to Gare Centrale, Montreal. My immediate favorite feature of this station was the level boarding, thus not having to carry the Brompton bag. Wow. It's been 8 years since I've been here, and wow, this is so exciting. Glad to be back in Montreal. Last time I was here as a broke bike messenger. Still kind of broke, but so let's get this bike unpacked and get onto the streets. Welcome to Montreal. We walked about half a block from Gare Centrale to this nice little park called Dorchester Square. It was now time to unpack the bike and hit the streets of Montreal. It's about 1 p.m. here, and my Airbnb check-in isn't for another few hours. So we're going to hit the streets and set our sights for Montreal. And one of the things you might notice right away is the amazing bike infrastructure. And that should come to no surprise. Montreal is voted as one of the best places to bike in. With every turn you make, there's just another bike lane. I should also mention that it was 20 degrees, I'm overdressed, and I have a ton of things on this bike, as well as my back. But to recharge, I'm heading to Edmonds on Rachel Street, a cute little cafe. I should also say, bring a bike lock. You're not going to want to fold this every single time that you go into a little tiny cafe like this. Edmonds also sold great little pastries and little personal pizza pies.
A few moments later.
Finally got into the Airbnb after 3 hours, and it's a stunning place as I saw on the internet. But the trip is not about the Airbnb. Hey Curbsiders, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the extended version at Kevin Goes on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to Curbside's YouTube channel, and like, comment, and subscribe. And of course you get poutine at 1 a.m. in the morning. 10 out of 10. Let's get it in.